Hello, this is Jenny McGarvey, and I am going to share with you today how I planned in my Happy Planner extension pack for the week of May 9th through 15th. Now, as you can see, that is last week, and I loved it. I loved the color scheme. I loved the whole way it came together. So this week has some high expectations that hopefully I am able to keep together. But I don't know, man, because I really did love last week a lot. So I'm just hoping that I can at least enjoy this particular week, because there are weeks that I definitely don't like as much. Now, I do like to pull the pages out of my Happy Planner, which is awesome. Thanks to those awesome rings that I can take them out, then it doesn't have any bulk from behind the planner. And then also, then you just are able to create a smoother writing or stamping surface. Now I have to look back at last week in my planner to see about my cleaning schedule and then also the recycling schedule, because I like to keep both of those in my planner. It just really actually helps me keep track of which week is which. It's not so much that I don't remember cleaning on Mondays and recycling on Tuesdays. It's that since it's an every other week type of event or things change every other week, it helps me keep track of that. So as you'll see this week, I do a combination of stamping and stickers, and I'm only purely using stickers from my stash this week. I'm not working with a particular kit or with all me and my big ideas stickers, though I do like to do both. It's just this week I decided, hey, let's just work with stickers from my stash. So as you can see, these are all of my Libby and Company stickers. I store those in the Erin Condren Clear Clutch that I had gotten a year or two ago, and it came with just a little small monthly calendar, and it's really cool, but it's perfect for storing my Libby and Company stickers. So that is where I keep all of those, and then I know exactly where to find them. Now I could store all of my different types of stickers together, but the Libby and Company sheets are significantly bigger than others, so that's why I don't store them that way. I keep my Libby and Company all separate because no other sticker sheets are as big as those, so that way it works out best for me and I can keep them as organized as possible. Now I do keep other stickers together that are various different brands because the sheets are smaller, and so that works out better. Now, Monday is probably the busiest week or day of the week for me, and so I need to put together a few different items, but it's still not a crazy week, because if it was, then you would see a lot less layering and sort of, I don't want to say decorative because there isn't actually any decorative elements to Monday, but I do a little bit more combining to make it more decorative, if that makes sense. And I wouldn't normally do that if it was a super busy day, because I just have too many things to keep track of to waste any space at all. Now I'm looking through some of my Scraptastic Club stickers, trying to find how to notate the other event that is on Monday, and I'm looking for just a fun way to do that. And so what I end up with is one of those notepad stickers, which I absolutely love, but silly me, I place it in the wrong spot because, after a year and a half of planning, I have somehow forgotten that I like to keep my to-do list at the bottom, which is absolutely crazy. But sometimes I just forget, and it just, that's just how I am. But I think a lot of it has to do with that sometimes I do my memory planning and I don't to keep a to-do list in there. So sometimes I think I just get a little bit confused. But luckily the sticker had only been down a little bit, so I can just peel it right up and move it up to the top part of the week, and therefore covering up the afternoon part, which is great. I like to do that. As you can see on that little notepad sticker, I did a little layering as well with a banner on top of it. I just love to add a couple of stickers together so that they can work together and make it a little bit more interesting. Both of those things totally stand alone and they don't need to be put together, but I just like it. It adds a little bit more fun and it's just more interesting, so it's totally no big deal. Now I'm going to search through those Libby and Company stickers again because I have one more thing that I need to notate on Monday. And in addition, I need to also find the little baseball stickers. These are absolutely my favorite. Like I said, they're from Libby and Company. They're probably about the size of a dime. I don't know the exact measurement, and I love to use them to decorate plain stickers and make them work for baseball events, either practices or games or whatever. And I don't always use them, and I don't always use them that way. Sometimes I have different things point to them, or use banner stickers or something like that. But I just love to use them. I think they make it more fun and a little bit more interesting as well. So that's why you will see that I usually have a pretty healthy stash of those Libby and Company stickers, because they definitely get used a lot. They're probably honestly my most used stickers. Now also, I love these little scallop circles that are reminders, but I don't use them very often, but I really like them. And I think it's just because I forget about them. Anyway, they're perfect for writing a word or two on there. And like, for example, today my son is turning in his baseball uniform, and I just wanted to notate that on here, but it didn't need a full event sticker. So the little reminder circle scallop is perfect, and it's just really cute. And again, I like using the sticker when you're using a whole bunch of rectangles, because it just changes up and it doesn't make it all matchy, because I do like my days and week to look a little bit more random, and things coordinate, but they aren't, just only a whole bunch of rectangles or notepad looking stickers or whatever, which is why I also honestly add the banner sticker to that notepad, just to change it up, to make it a little bit more interesting. Now, as you can see, during the to-do sticker of Monday, I used a stamp, which is awesome. I love that one. It's perfect for checklists. But I wanted to add a couple more things. I don't actually even know if I need to or not, but I wanted to. So I just inked up the second time around a couple of the little squares and then stamped that down. And then I'm able to customize it to what I need, which was adding just a couple more things for my to-do list, because I know that I want to get a lot of things done, knock a lot of things out today, or at least get them down on paper so that I don't forget them. Now, to that circle scalloped reminder, I just added a teeny tiny little teardrop sticker from Libby and Company, just to notate my one son's name, so that I could make sure to remember who was turning in their baseball uniform. It's probably pretty self-explanatory. I probably know that the other two actually keep their uniforms, but for me, I just wanted to make sure that it was all as clear as possible. So that's why adding that little teardrop was perfect. And then, as you can see, what I was talking about, that my Monday really looks very full, even though it's not a lot of stuff. It's really only like, a couple of reminders and a couple of activities, but still it all works out great. Now, in addition to the pink flamingo washi, I'm going to also add this sort of corally pink thin washi tape. This is probably some of my most favorite washi, is this package of MT tapes. I love the texture of these tapes, and then there's just a wide assortment of colors. I got this one on Amazon, and it was a really good price for this whole entire package. I think there's like something like 15 or something in there, but I am able to use them all of the time. I liked layering the two washis together, even though the pinks totally don't go together. But I thought it was really fun to, I don't know, just layer them together, change it up, not only make it about the flamingo, but also make it just a fun thing to draw your eye to at the bottom of the page, which is important for me with my to-do lists, because I like to keep them sort of the focal point of my day. Now I'm using one of those little arrow stickers. It's kind of reminds me of home plate for baseball, to notate that this is the to-do section for the entire week. I don't always do this. Sometimes I do it for each and every day, but this week I thought I would just do it once. And that little stamp on top of the sticker says "do it." And so it's just fun. It's just a different way for me to notate my little to-do list, which is not very exciting, but still, we all know we have these little things that we need to get done each week, and it works perfectly for me to have a section for each day of things I need to knock out. Now, there's actually not any events for me on Tuesday, so I am going through my stash and trying to find the things that I need to use for the Wednesday to notate all of my different events, but then also for, like I mentioned before, the recycling on Tuesday. I have those two weekly things, or two things that I need to keep track of, because they change every other week or whatever. So those little recycle stickers from Lily Henry, I love them. They're the perfect size for right there on Tuesdays for me. They might not work for other people because they're kind of on the smaller side, but for me, I like to keep them at the top, and so that size is perfect. But she does actually sell bigger ones as well, but for me, I like their smaller ones. Now, because my Monday is full and I remembered something that I needed to notate on Monday, I'm just using a small teardrop sticker to notate a blog post that I had on Monday. It doesn't actually matter because I already had done it, but I like to have the whole week full, and so I can look at it comprehensively. Maybe I get to Thursday and I'm like, okay, how was the beginning of the week? Or I need to refer back to something. So I do like to complete it, even though I already had done the blog post, because obviously it was one that was scheduled to go live on Monday. Now, this is kind of where I screw up my week, and it happens to me all the time. So that's why I really do like removable stickers, because I don't do this perfectly pretty much ever. I'm putting down one of these cool flags, which I really like those a lot, and I am making it a point to kind of try to use them a little bit more, but that's Wednesday and not Thursday. And I'm kind of referring to where I do my loose planning with Post-it notes in my Inkwell press, and Thursday is right next to the coil. So that's why I got a little bit screwed up. Anyway, I love to use these pencils to notate late start on Wednesdays. I don't know why, I just started doing it and it just feels super natural, and I reach for it every single week. It's also really pretty much the only sticker I have that is very, very school-like. I have a stamp set from Sweet Stamp Shop that is a school stamp set, but the sticker, this is the one that I've got, and quite frankly, for whatever reason, I just always gravitate towards this. So that's definitely why you'll see pretty much every single week I notate late start with that pencil, unless there's something else that I use during that week to notate with the pencil, and I don't like to do any repeating elements for those really specific stickers. So like the pencil, it's super specific, so I don't like to use it more than once. Also, at the bottom of my to-do lists, I do like to keep them a little bit different, so that's why you'll see that I use different stickers down there. I just don't like to repeat. For whatever reason, it looks too the same. So when I look at a planner spread and each thing is just done over and over again, for me, it's not what works. I like them to be different. But anyway, so you can see there how I realized, oh, yeah, blog post, it's actually Thursday, not Wednesday. So I just peel the sticker up and I move it to Thursday, which is totally fine. It's not a big deal. It didn't rip the paper or anything like that, so I was able to carry that over. But now I'm kind of thinking about how I'm going to add some washi tape to the right side, particularly that pink flamingo washi tape, which I'm such a fan of, but also then figuring out how I can use this pink sprinkle washi tape, which I don't get to use anywhere near often enough because I don't usually do spreads that are totally pink so that I can use that. So there you go. The pink sprinkle washi tape is so cute, but it's a little bit too wide for where I need it. So I'm going to take my ruler, use my X-Acto knife, and trim the part that I don't want. Now, part of the bummer is that I do rip a little bit of the paper right around the Thursday, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world, and you really can't see it that well. Only I would really actually know it was there, so it's fine. Now that's how you customize the width of a washi tape to work for how you need it. And I still love it. It's super cute, and it coordinates well with, like I said, that pink flamingo washi tape that I used on the other side. Now, because I covered up the flag with the washi tape, I'm going to just remove it all together and throw it away, which is a total waste. But it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to pull out a different sticker and use it on that Thursday to notate that blog post, which I've actually already started, but I do need to finish a project for it. So I do definitely need to have it there on the page so that I remember to create the project for that. And I'm also doing one of my favorite techniques, which is using those arrow stickers to point to an icon, and that will help me remember. And it just keeps it a little bit different too. So I am a big fan of that. As you can see, I'd like to use the VersaFine ink in my planner. With the black, there is a tiny bit of shadowing, but there's definitely no bleed through ever. And really, honestly, the shadowing is very minor and not something that bothers me at all. But I know it does bother some people, but it really, like I said, it's very minor. Now, these are some of my favorite stickers. They are from Hello Emma Company on Etsy, though she has changed her name to something else, and I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but they are super cute, and what I like about them is the background for the writing part is colored. I get tired of the fact that the pages are white, and then when you put down a white sticker, even if it has an outside, there's just not a ton of color, and so these I love because they're colorful and they're bright and they're awesome. So those are really fantastic and definitely some of my most reached for stickers. and also ever so slightly removable since, as I've mentioned before, I do happen to forget all of the time and stick things down in the wrong place. So like you saw there, I was able to pull it up and move it over to the Friday with no ripping of the paper or messing up the sticker either. Now, still tackling my to-dos down there at the bottom, and I don't usually put to-do things on the weekends, though obviously sometimes I have things that I finish and get accomplished, but I don't usually keep a running to-do list on the weekends. I try to keep all of those to the weekdays and get those all wrapped up during the week, and so that my weekends are pretty free and clear. And so I do use the boxes on the weekend a little bit differently, maybe a little bit more decoratively, or looking forward to the next week. Now I'm searching through my stash of Scraptastic stickers looking for the perfect one, which I will admit can be difficult when you have so many of them. It's hard to just get the exact right thing there. But it's still fun to look through them. I like to keep a good idea of what I have and what is still necessary for me to use on particular sheets, because you know how sometimes you'll use half the sheet and you'll kind of start to forget about it because in your mind I sort of dismiss it because, oh, I've already used half the stickers. So that's why looking through them periodically really does help me, because then I can remember some of the ones that I still have and that I could absolutely still use. Now, I don't know if you can get a good look at that little pocket that I use to store some of my smaller sticker sheets in, but it is from Kaisercraft, and it has a zipper at the top, and it's a durable plastic pocket, and it has rings and stuff too, so if you wanted to put it in a binder, you could, and it has a ring at the top. If you wanted to store it on a pegboard, you could. And I keep my Chrissy Ann designs in there, I keep my Jubilo planner stickers in there, and then just any miscellaneous stickers that I reach for quite a bit, I keep in there as well. So like my Lily Henrys go in there, just any other little stickers that, as you can see though, those are some of my tinier ones, but some of those other sheets go up to say 5 by 8 or something like that. And that pouch is perfect. And the way that I have it organized, I really do tend to remember that I have those in there. So it works out great for me. And like I said, I like that it's really durable. And then if you wanted to put it in a binder, you absolutely could. I store mine in my Raskog cart from IKEA along with the Antonius inserts. But there are a lot of different ways to store those pouches. Now these Madison Weekend banners, I love them because they are pretty monochromatic, and I like that a lot because sometimes you do want the two different colors. Like I could have absolutely gone with a pink and a yellow for this weekend, but sometimes they're not exactly how you want them. So you want to keep it, like I don't want pink and red. I want yellow and pink, but sometimes you just don't get that color scheme. So that's why I like it when these are monochromatic, because then I can use a yellow sticker and it works out fantastically. Now this is a pretty quiet weekend for us. I just need to notate one particular event, that's it, and that's really unusual for us. We usually have a fairly packed weekend, but it's very nice to have kind of a calm weekend coming up. I'm looking forward to it very much. So I'm going to take one of those checklist stickers, the ones that have the 3 little checklists, and write down my son's baseball game on that. And I like that. I love that technique a lot because it gives me the spaces to write the things down, but it's not your typical event sticker or half box sticker, those types of things. And so this just keeps it a little bit more interesting for me. Not everybody would like to do the same thing, obviously. Now, as I was planning, I remembered some of our to-dos, and because this is my functional planner where I actually get things done, I wanted to make sure that I took care of those or got those down on paper before I forgot, because quite frankly, my short-term memory is not what it used to be. Now, as you can see, I'm going to go through the April Scraptastic Club Plan On It kit stamp set and take that next week, which is, by the way, the perfect size for that Sunday night box, and notate the things that I have coming up the following week. I've explained this in videos before, so if you've heard this, please excuse me. I like to use that for events or due dates that I have the following week. So say it's on Monday or Tuesday and then you turn the page and whoops, I totally missed that. So I like to keep those things in mind and keep a good look at what I'm going to need to do for the following week this week and keep it in mind. So that is why I use that box right down there for my next week. And I don't usually have anything scheduled on Sunday evening, or if I do, I can bump it up to the afternoon spot. So, I like to keep it what works for me as well. Now, again, I had forgotten to add something to the Wednesday, and so I just decided that I would go back and I would add it right now, just stamping the simple little shopping cart and notating the grocery shopping that I needed to do on Wednesday afternoon and the couple of stops that I needed to do. Now, like I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, this is the extension pack for the Happy Planner, and so I have to add the dates with the stickers that are included in the package. And for whatever reason, I love these stickers at the top. I would not ever classify myself as someone who loves stickers or circles or anything like that, but for whatever reason, I just really like the way those look at the top. They're really bright and bold, and so that's a really good fit for me. Now, I also forgot one other Wednesday event. I don't know why I was really lacking on my Wednesday, and I want to do a little bit of layering for this one. I don't always layer, although you did see where I did on Monday as well, so it sounds kind of like, oh, whatever. But I like to add a few different stickers together. It just makes it a little bit more decorative. And on this particular week where there's not a whole lot of activities or appointments going on, it works fine for me to add a couple of different stickers. So the gray and white label sticker from Scraptastic Club layered with the Libby & Company event sticker and then the baseball works out perfect. And I actually really like the way that looks together. So I'm pretty excited about that one. Now I'm going to go through the stickers that I have from Scraptastic Club and find a couple of different ones that I can use just for decoration. Because if we look back at the week as a whole, there are definitely a few open spots, which is fine. I don't have a problem with white space at all, but I thought, oh, this might be a great opportunity to add a couple of really cute stickers. So like right there, for example, those flowers, they're so adorable and I always think they're really cute, but they're not always something I can use since these aren't a color scheme that I often use. So I decided that I would go ahead and just use a couple of those this week to add a little bit of fun, just a tiny bit, and then use some stickers I wouldn't ordinarily get a chance to use. Now the last thing that I need to do is the meal planning. So I am taking that fork and knife and spoons set. I'm going to use a Prima chalk ink and ink it up, and then I'm going to stamp that along the bottom and then add the meals right on top of it. I only notate the main dish. Finding a side is very easy to go along with the main dish, and I have so many that are fairly typical. Sorry you can't see that very well that I got that cut off. It was kind of an afterthought and I wasn't really thinking. Anyway, so then I just write that right on top and then that's it. That's my entire week all planned out. So thank you so much for stopping by and taking the time to watch my video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, if you would leave me a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. I like to know if you enjoyed the video, and it also helps you and lets YouTube know what kind of videos you like to see as well. Thank you so much and make it a great day.